Hey Girl Scouts, I'm Sunny from the Girl Scouts of Northern Indiana-Michiana in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and today I'm going to be walking girls through the Junior Space Science Investigator badge. So as you're logging in, if in the comment section, you can tell us where you're watching from and tell us what your favorite planet is. So like I said, we're going to be doing the Junior Space Science Investigator badge today. So just a few reminders before I get started with the fun badge steps. Girls don't earn the badge just from watching this video. So after the video ends, and after you're feeling inspired and excited and want to try out all the fun activities, then you just need to gather up the supplies so that you can do this on your own at home. And once you've completed all 5 steps, then as soon as our retail stores open up again, you can come on in and purchase the badge that you've earned. Or you can purchase it online as well. So there are 5 steps that you need to complete in order to earn the Junior Space Science Investigator badge. And the 5 steps are: model the solar system, circle the sun, discover the stars, use the tools to explore, and share your sky. So we're going to go ahead and get started now with step number 1, which is model the solar system. So step number 1 is model the solar system. So while we're getting started, if in the comments you can leave some facts you know about space. So how many planets do we have in our solar system? Can you name all the planets in our solar system? And what do you know about like the dwarf planets or our moon or the sun? So if you can leave some facts that you know about space in the comments, that would be great. So for model the solar system, we're going to be, one of the choices to fulfill this step is to make a scale model of the planets. Have you ever heard the term scale model before? So a scale model is where we take something and we either make a model that is much larger than the object is in real life or much smaller than it is in real life. So one example would be sometimes scientists will take an insect that they want to learn more about and they'll make a scale model of that insect, and they'll actually make it a lot bigger than it is in real life so that they can study it and learn more about it. And then another example would be like an architect, and they would make a scale model of a house, but instead of making a normal sized house, they'll make a much, much smaller house so that they can kind of figure out how they'd like to design it and how they'd like to build it. So today we're going to make a scale model of all of the planets. So I want you girls, before we get started making our scale model, I want you to think about what planet, I want you to make a prediction actually. So think about, what planet do I predict is the largest planet in the solar system? Which one do you think is the smallest planet in our solar system? And where do you think Earth lies on this scale? Do you think it's one of the bigger planets or one of the smaller planets? All right, so to make our scale model of the planets, we just need a few supplies. We're actually going to be making our planets out of salt dough. So you'll need to gather up the supplies for the salt dough. And when we upload the materials list for this badge, we'll also have some instructions that I've typed up just for making a really simple salt dough. So you'll need some salt, a mixing bowl, a spoon, some flour, and then you'll also need some water. But like I said, I'll have the instructions for that when we upload the materials list. And then I also pulled some resources off the volunteer toolkit. So one other thing that you'll need, or that you might want, this is a little printout that's just planet name cards. So what I've done is I've cut all of these out, and then I can lay them out on my table so that as I make each planet with my salt dough, as I roll each of them up, I'm going to set them down on their little pictures of those planets. And then another resource on the volunteer toolkit are the actual instructions for how to shape each ball of dough to represent each planet. Now, I'm going to walk you through it in the video, and actually how this is written out, it's written out as if you're going to do it with your troop. So it's like group 1 is going to do this part, and group 2 is going to do this part. So if you want, after the video ends, you can gather up your supplies and then come back and watch the video and do it with me and roll up each planet, because I'll walk you through it if you were just going to do it by yourself. All right, girls. So, like I said, make those predictions about which planet's the largest. Don't look it up ahead of time. So, which planet's the largest, which one's the smallest, and where do we think Earth is going to lie on that scale? And now we're going to go ahead and get started. So step 1 is divide your ball of dough into 5 equal parts. I sped parts of this up, so when it looks like I'm in hyperspeed, that's why. Get them as even as you can. Then you're going to put 3 of the parts onto Jupiter. Then you're going to put 1 part onto Saturn. And now you should have 1 chunk, 1 piece left over. Step 2 is you're going to cut your leftover piece into 10 equal parts. Now you're going to add 7 parts to Saturn. You're going to add 1 part to Uranus and 1 part on Neptune. Now you should have 1 piece, 1 part left over. Step 3 is you're going to cut leftover piece into 10 equal parts. All right, you're going to add 2 parts to Saturn. Now you're going to add 4 parts to Uranus. Add 3 parts to Neptune. And you should have 1 small part left over. Step 4 is you're going to cut that leftover piece into 10 equal parts. The smaller it gets, the harder it gets to split it up. Now Now you're going to add 5 parts to Saturn. And you're going to put 2 parts on Earth and 2 parts on Venus. And now you should have 1 even smaller piece left over. Step number 5 is you're going to cut that little piece into 10 equal parts. I say cut, but I never actually use the knife. I just use my fingers. And I wouldn't use that hefty of a knife anyway. All right, now we're going to add 4 parts onto Earth. We're going to add 1 part to Saturn. We're going to add 1 part to Mercury. And 3 parts added to Mars. Now you should have 1 teeny tiny piece left over. And step 6 is cut leftover piece into 5 equal parts. Now you're going to add 2 parts to Mars. Add 3 parts to Mercury. And then step 7, the last step, is you're going to smush all your planet pieces together so you can form each planet. Now your salt dough, the smaller pieces are a little dry. So just a heads up there. They're a little harder to start rolling up. So step number 2 of the Junior Space Science Investigator badge is circle the sun. How do we measure a year? Do you girls know? So what is a year exactly, right? So the Earth orbits or moves around the sun, and it actually, 1 full orbit around the sun takes a year. And a year on Earth is approximately 365.24 days. So it takes 365.24 days for Earth to make a full orbit around the sun. So think about how many times have you orbited around the sun? So how many years have you spent on Earth so far? One of the ways that you can fulfill step number 2 of the Junior Space Investigator badge is to dance the Earth's year. So we're gonna make some materials and then we're gonna go dance around the sun and represent how Earth's movement around the sun. All right, so to do our dance around the sun, we just need to make a few things, and so just grab some supplies around home. I need you to first grab a ball, like a soccer ball, a kickball, a basketball, that you might have around the house, and this is gonna represent our sun. Now, the only ball I had at home was a tennis ball, so I'm gonna use a tennis ball. If you don't have any ball at home that you can use to represent the sun, you can also just print out a picture of the sun, and that would work just fine too, or draw a picture of the sun. All right, and then you also need some paper, so you can use construction paper. I've just got some printer paper. And then you're also gonna need some markers, okay? And so what you need to do after you've gathered up all your supplies, the first thing I want you to do is take 4 of your 16 pieces of paper. So I didn't say that. You need 16 pieces of paper. So first you're gonna take 4 pieces of paper, and I want you to make posters for the 4 seasons. So do you girls know what the 4 seasons are that we experience on Earth? If you can think of them, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll wait just a second. So the 4 seasons. Okay, so the 4 seasons are winter, spring, summer, and fall, right? So I want you to make a poster out of your paper here. Make one for each season, and maybe write the name of the season. So write spring, and then I want you to draw a picture of your favorite thing about that season. So maybe it's your favorite thing to do, or something that happens during that season that you really love, okay? And so you're gonna make posters for all 4 seasons. Now, I printed out some pictures for mine, but I think it'd be more fun if you drew a picture of your favorite thing to do. But I've got posters for each season. So I've got spring, summer, fall, and winter, okay? All right, so after you've got your 4 season posters, then I need you to take 12 more pieces of paper. And what do you think you might be doing with those 12 pieces of paper? You're gonna make 12 posters to represent the 12 months of the year, okay? So, after you've done that, so you're gonna write the name of each month, and again, maybe you wanna draw a picture of your favorite thing to do that month, or your favorite thing that happens during that month of the year. So I've just got these little, they're out of order right now, but you're gonna make posters of the 12 months of the year. And I do want you to put them in order. So think about what the first month of the year is. We want it to go January, February, March, just trying to get them back in order, April, May, June, and then, oh no, July is missing. I'm missing my July. July, August, September, October, November, and December. All right, so we've got our 4 season posters, and we've got our 12 months of the year. And then we have to have our ball or picture of the sun to represent the sun. All right, once we've gathered up all of our supplies, now we're gonna go outside and we're gonna dance the Earth's year. Welcome to my front yard. My sun's trying to blow away. All right, so you're gonna start with your sun in the middle. And then, first step, is we're going to get out our 4 season posters, spring, summer, fall, and winter, and you're going to put those around your sun. And you can take up more space if you want. I'm just trying to fit in where the camera can see me. All right. And now I've got my 12 months of the year. All right. And you're going to place those around or underneath your seasons where they belong. So January and February are around winter. Then we're going to spring with March, April, May. Getting into summer with June, July, August. Now we're getting into fall with September, October, trying to blow away, and then November and December. All right, so like I said, you can take up more space. Good, all set. Now we're gonna go over to our birthday month. Mine is June, so I'm standing next to June. And now we're going to dance and orbit. We're pretending to be Earth, and we're gonna orbit around the sun. And that was 1 full orbit. That was 1 year. Now we're going to dance around again. So make up some different dance moves. Go back to June, and that was another 2nd orbit. Oh, got some more dance moves. So do this with your family and have a little dance party. All right, enjoy your dance around the sun. All right, girls, so step 3 of the Junior Space Science Investigator badge is discover the stars. So right now I am outside at night so that I can check out the night sky. So one of the ways that you can fulfill this step is to do a night sky scavenger hunt. So after this video goes live, along with the materials list will be a night sky scavenger hunt worksheet that you can print out and use, and it just has different constellations and stars that you can look for while you're out doing your night sky scavenger hunt. Another thing that I have with me that helps things along a little bit is I have a free star tracker app on my phone. So there's a lot of them out there that you can use, and it helps you identify the stars in the sky if maybe you don't know what you're looking at. So this one's just called Star Tracker. It kind of looks like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but basically what's really neat is as I shine this up into my sky and I move around, it shows me what constellations and stars my phone is facing, what I'm looking at right now, because it uses the GPS on my phone. So that's a really helpful app. And after this step, we're going to be learning about another tool that you can use to explore the night sky. So one thing to keep in mind is not all of the same stars and constellations can be seen every night of the year. So depending on the time of the year and the time of the night and your location, there's different stars and constellations in your sky. So don't be discouraged if you print out the worksheet and you can't find all of these constellations. So that's part of the fun, right? So every night you kind of get to see a different night sky. So maybe give it a couple days and then go out again and see what other constellations you can find. There's also a fun spot or a section of the worksheet where you can write in the other things that you find. So have fun searching, and now we're going to move on to the next step. Step 4 of the Junior Space Science Investigator badge is use tools to explore. And one option to fulfill this step is to make a paper star wheel, or also known as a planisphere. So on our website, along with our materials list, there will be a printout of a paper star wheel. So I recommend printing it out on cardstock. Unfortunately, this is just regular paper because I didn't have cardstock, but cardstock will make it nice and sturdy. Then you'll also need a set of scissors and a stapler. So I'm going to quickly show you how to make it. All right, so this is the holder for it. So you're just gonna cut around the bold lines. You'll also notice that there's a dotted line here and on the sides. Those dotted lines are actually going to be just for holding. You're going to be folding on the dotted line. So don't cut where you see the dotted line, okay? Just around the dark bold lines. All right, and you're also going to want to cut out this middle section here, okay? Because this is where your wheel's going to actually sit. So I'd recommend you just make a little fold in it, like this, to get your hole started. Ta-da! All right, so this is the holder for your Star Wheel. You're also going to need to cut out the part that actually has the constellations. And once again, you're just going to cut around that dark border. And this is what it'll look like after that. And now you're going to take your holder, and where those dotted lines are, you're going to make some folds. So you're going to fold it in like this. I'm going to set it down on my table so I can fold it nicely, okay? So you're going to fold up the bottom on that dotted line. So this is what that bottom fold looks like. And you're folding it up like this. And then you're going to fold your sides in as well. And you're going to fold them right onto the back. See that? How I folded it in like that? And then you're going to use your stapler, or if you don't have a stapler at home, you can use tape too. We're just going to staple that like so. We're going to do the same thing over here. And actually, I'm just going to double check. I might want to put my wheel in first. Yep. You want to stick your wheel in, your little part that has the constellation. Sit that inside your holder before you staple or tape it. Because if you put all your staples in, it'll be really hard to actually staple it. So I recommend doing that first. All right, so here is your finished Star Wheel. And what's really handy is that there's actually instructions on the back on how you use your Star Wheel. So first you're gonna align your date and time. You're gonna locate the constellation that you wanna find on the map in here. And then you're gonna turn your map so that the horizon that you're closest to is at the bottom. And then the star positions in the sky should match those on your wheel. So this is use the tools to explore, step number 4 of the Junior Space Science Investigator badge. All right, girls, so now we are on to the 5th and final step of the Junior Space Science Investigator badge, which is share your sky. And one option to fulfill this step of the badge is to create a space show. So maybe do a talent show with your family where you can write your own song or rap or poem about maybe your favorite planet, or maybe your favorite constellation, or maybe tell a story about a constellation, or create some artwork for space, and do a talent show or just a space science night with your family members. So to wrap us up, I'm just going to share, this isn't something I've written. This is actually a poem written by an author that I really love. It's a poem by Shel Silverstein, and the poem is called Moon Catchin' Net. I've made me a moon catchin' net, and I'm going hunting tonight. I'll run along swinging it over my head and grab for that big ball of light. So tomorrow, just look at the sky, and if there's no moon, you can bet. I found what I sought, and I finally caught the moon in my moon catchin' net. But if the moon's still shining there, look close underneath and you'll get a clear look at me in the sky swinging free with a star in my moon catchin' net. Thank you, girls, so much for watching today's video. I hope now you're excited to collect all of your materials and get started to complete your Junior Space Investigator badge. Please stay tuned to our Facebook and our website for future virtual opportunities. I hope you're all doing great and that you're staying healthy and safe, and I hope to see you girls very soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.